What's going on, peeps? We back at this thing, another round, baby. So we're gonna do part two to breaking generational curses. I know the first video we kind of, you know, touch base on some things, kind of do some nuggets, but I really want to go more in depth on this. So there's gonna be a lot of elements about this. I know it's kind of seems sporadic, but I promise you they're all, points that comes back down to the main point. So take what you take from it, and as I always say, I encourage you, whatever resonates, roll with it. Whatever don't resonate, throw that shit away. You know what I'm saying? I'll put it on the shelf. Come back to it when you think you're ready for it. All right. So before any video, I always give a little small disclaimer, right? And I'm not trying to convert anybody to anything, no type of religion. I'm not trying to convert you the way I believe. All right, these are solely my opinions. This is based on, my own perspectives, information, experiences with others, their testimonies, research, things I take from meditation, so on and so forth. So I always encourage you to be on your own path, your own journey, your spiritual journey, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is for you, and keep elevating. But information is infinite. Information is not one dimensional. It's very broad. I always take what resonates and run with that shit. All right. So I always want to throw that to you. But we're gonna jump right into this thing. All right. So when you talk about breaking generational curses, I want to go back to the black sheep thing. I'm using that phrase because a lot of people, it's a common phrase. A lot of people have different names for it, like star seeds and stuff like that. Whatever's comfortable with, whatever floats your boat, man. It all comes down to, a lot of similarities. But I'm using black sheep because, it's very common. I know what I touched based on last time was about family members. Now, stay with me now, because I'm going to go deep into this thing. All right? No sugarcoating. Family members, a lot of times the black sheeps come into families, they're not from that original bloodline. They're not from that lineage. That's why you stick out like a sore thumb. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times is you come from more regal bloodlines where, those kingdoms and those systems, you contribute to a lot of that stuff. Or you was heirs to that stuff. Or you just witnessed a lot of that stuff and that was your foundation. Whether you had some of the best, mightiest warriors, your political leaders, your philosophers, your spiritual teachers, your gods, so on and so forth. So you're familiar with the utopia, a collective community of balance and harmony and strength. I'm not saying it was perfect or anything like that, but it was a whole lot more harmonic and more balanced in the universe compared to other places. You come from a lot of places where people come to your kingdoms and your systems for help, for protection, and for gods. So a lot of times we come down to these cycles as voluntary. So it's not like, oh man, I was just sitting down here, I was kicked out from the cosmos, and no, it's volunteering. Now, why we tend to do that shit sometimes, you feel like, oh man, what the hell you doing? You crazy. No, it's because when you have a lot of the black sheeps in the family have some of the biggest hearts, man. You know what I'm saying? Are they some of the most patient people? Are they some of the most consistent people? You don't have to have all those characteristics. Just one, something's going to stick out about you than the common person that's around you or your family that they can relate to. So a lot of people, low key, or family members are jealous because of that. Those same qualities you brought from the world you came from. You see what I'm saying? So you're bringing certain strengths and gifts, to this world, to that family, that a lot of those demonic forces of malevolent spirits, or what you want to call them, do not like. You know what I'm saying? Now I want to go to the purpose of coming to those families and bringing healing to that family. It's just doing just that. You're not there to fix anybody. All right? I'm going to say that again. Your ass. is not there to fix anybody. You're there to evolve. You're there carrying that ancestral DNA to heal that energy within you from ancestors, so on and so forth, the energies of that family, that bloodline that you're in, and to evolve. You're there to bring motivation and inspiration. You're there to evolve with your own spiritual journey and your own evolution as a person, as a being. You see what I'm saying? Now, you're there, you can be a support system, but being a support system and fixing somebody is two different things. A lot of people get that twisted. Oh man, I gotta go bail my cousin out of jail. He robbed somebody again. Mama hit you up. Go get your brother. What'd he do? Man, he broke he broke parole or this and that and blah, blah, blah. He's on, probation. Or he out there drinking with the fellas, got caught up, got another DUI. So you spending money, you going on the savings account, getting your little tidbit of money, and you going and bailing out your brother, for going to the Bells bombing to get your brother out some bullshit. Or helping your sister, get that fix. Or the drug addiction. Or that family member just hit you up freely about getting money because you got such a big heart. You ain't seeing your little brother down. Or you constantly forgiving or, looking past what your father did with your sister. How abusive he was to your mother. Or how angry your mom has been. Oh, that's just my mom, man. You gotta love her, man. She can't live without her. Yeah, you can. Those are spirits, man. Those are things, those are karmic energies that they're all dealing with. That has nothing to do with you. That's not your fault. A person that genuinely cares about you is not going to tug on you like that. They might ask for help, and you'll know when it's genuine because it's not going to be often. And it's going to be a genuine reason when they need help, if they need help. And a lot of times, it's automatic yes, because you already know what character they are. When somebody hollering at you, you see that call ID, and you automatically go to that dread state, you already know it's an energy vampire. So again, you're not there to fix anybody. You're there to be an inspiration. You're there to be a support system if you choose to. You're there to help heal the energy of that family so other souls can go through the portals of that bloodline to help make some of the biggest impacts in this world, to help other people. That's your whole reason coming to those bloodlines. So you would think, okay, why I gotta come to the most craziest shit, some of the most abused, infected, witch, warlock infested, families in the world. That's because a lot of times those families, stay with me, they have origins. Their origins were of some of the most strongest, pure, justified families in existence. Nobody touch on that. We think generational curses. We think family members. We think, oh man, just some bullshit. People just messed up. No, bro. They come from some of the most regal back histories you can even imagine. Whatever may happen, how them kingdoms when they fell and they got infested with the wickedness and went to the dark side. A lot of times that's a win for malevolent dark forces. Or we flip them because they were such a threat. So a lot of times you have these beings, black sheeps or whatever, they can resonate with the type of history of those families and what they've been through and know that, oh, okay, they just need some assistance. If they will have some balance, and some healing and some help and return back to the light, then they can keep that momentum going and bringing in some of the most, pure souls you can think of to make some of the most impact in the world. So a lot of times you come into these families that seem so fucked up because they have such rich history. Now you would think, okay, you have all these demonic forces, all these, why is it so messed up? When anytime you have something that has such a pure background and have such potential to help bring balance and harmony to the universe, to life, period, to each individual. And they have fallen from grace. Whatever demonic forces have infested that family, they're not going to let loose. They're going to try to keep control of that, because they know it's a threat if they don't. It's like a pimp. Pimp got a group of 13, 14-year-old girls, had them since they were 12, 13 years old. 10, 20 years later, they're still on the streets. And they decide, hey, Johnny, I wanna go to church. I wanna change my life. What do you think that pimp gonna be like? You wanna keep that grip? You gonna let it go? You see what I'm saying? That's the same thing. Now I wanna touch on monitoring spirits and family members. So we tend to think of, when we hear spirits or spirit, we think about possession. We think about what's the old girl from that classical supernatural, The Exorcist. Oh, the chick was, head spinning, spitting out pea soup and all that stuff. That's a form of exorcism. A form of a possession. But there's different categories of possession. You have psychological possession, spiritual possession. You have physical possession. You have emotional possession, mental possession. And if you think about it, a lot of family members that you have, they all have a category of that. The way they come at you, the way they attack you. You might have a sister that like to be very combative, emotional attacks. Say something smart to you, at least 3 or 4 times a day on an average, just to throw you off, just get emotional reaction out of you. That's a demon, an emotional demon, to get a reaction out of you. That's a watchful demon, and watching you, studying you since birth, know how you operate, know your weaknesses. You might have a psychological demon from a pop. You know what I'm saying? They like to do certain things, just so you can follow his steps, just to have some influence over you. So you want to challenge, his weaknesses, so you become him. You might have an angry spirit from the mother because she mad at the father. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about the individual being so wicked. It's about those spirits that attach to those individuals and feed on their weaknesses. And then the individual makes that choice to get in the energy of how they feel and go on. And they're possessed by those malevolent spirits. We think, just one category of possession. The whole world's possessed for the most part right now. Just go on social media. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of those spirits, they are familiar with you, your soul. They're very ancient. They are not stupid by no means. These are very intelligent, highly intelligent, ancient beings. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, stuff wouldn't have gone on so long in this world, in this plane, for so long, in all these loops. This organization that they have, man, they're highly intelligent. They have to be. And they work in numbers. You ever heard the terminology legions, or the biblical terms, legions? That shit is very true. So you might have a sister that come at you a certain way, and on the surface, on the outside, she like a typical girl, but she might have 2,000-3,000 demons in her, certain rankings, but attack you every day, every day, every day. You'll watch, if you're the black sheep of your family, you'll watch by your family, especially your immediate family, on a daily basis. You're talked about more than you think. They think about you more than anybody in the family, whether they like you or not. You see what I'm saying? So when I say spirituality, for me, is a whole lot more broader than something one-dimensional. It helps you think outside the box. It helps you understand character. I'm going to say something that's very important for any individuals in a situation that's in a family that's not evolving, that's not, helping you, energy vampires, etc., everything we've been talking about. Now, this is one of the most challenging things anybody can ever do, but it's the best gift you can give yourself. And it's not saying that's an obligation that you have to do it, but most times you might need to. That's disengaging from family. Crazy, right? I'm about to get hyped, boy. Hold on, I'm about to take a little 2 minute intermission. Y'all don't know, man. I'm in the zone with this thing, man. I'm gonna go get me a bowl of cornflakes and come back and holler at y'all later on. Nah, but stay with me because this is not really talked about nearly as much as it need to be, and it's one of the best cures that you can give yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you disengaging away from the family, you're cutting out all those energetic ties. Now, I'm not saying that you do it out of impulse or you do it prematurely. A lot of times people have to work themselves up to do it, and that's understandable. Especially if you've been around a group of people most of your life or all your life, and you've been in that same routine with them same habits. You develop habits with them. So that's not easy. That's like a person that's been on some kind of drugs, or a person that's, they have sugar addiction. You know what I'm saying? They eat that Reese's Pieces there. They got to go to Walmart, get the bag of Reese's Pieces. You have to do it bit by bit. Very first video, y'all. Bit by bit. Disengage from that bit by bit. Get the teachings. Get the learnings. Think outside the box. Stop supporting people bit by bit. Start developing that courage, that strength. Become more solid. Become more observant. You get to that point and you're able to go on and transition on. But it's so important for you to do that if you need to do that, because it cuts those energetic ties. Not only that, you're forcing them to see all their wickedness, and you being the source of their, them feeding on your energy. When you do that, guess what happens? They turn on each other. And guess what happens with that? They get exposed. They get exposed not only from their peers, from other family members, but from everybody. Because they use you as the scapegoat. The lies, the manipulation, bad mouthing your name, all kinds of stuff for years. They've created this projected illusion about you that people have saw. Now, I'm not saying everybody had believed it, but they had the numbers game. But when you leave and you're not the source of it anymore, and you're thriving, and there's nothing but positive stuff that you're doing, people are going to start seeing it, they're going to start comparing, they're going to start using common sense. They're like, damn, that don't make no sense. And they're going to start talking. And they start turning against each other. And guess what? You start getting hit up from the same family members because they ain't heard from you. They blowing your damn phone up. Silence. Silence is power. Then they start leaving the voicemails or want to meet up with you, or I'm sorry for doing. They start admitting their wrongs and all that type of shit. You gotta let that die out. Now, this is the important part, because I'm not just gonna say that and say, hey, it's easy and then you ride into the sunset. No, that's challenging because you're dealing with a phase of isolation now when you do that. Isolation from family, so-called family. Isolation from certain habits. You're going through withdrawals. You like Ray Charles in the bed. I'm gonna get them, man. You're going through some shit. You know what I'm saying? In that preparation, the spirit world, the universe in general, is gravitating sources around you that you need. You're making what you're doing, you're making room. You're emptying out everything that has held you back, especially the family being the foundation of it, so you can have that true brother, that true sister, soul tribe, or all that stuff, whatever you believe, the resources you need to start that business. Hell, clear of mind, peace, solace. You see what I'm saying? You're able to travel. You become more cultured, more open-minded. You know what I'm saying? That energy, that burden is lifted. That tense energy field now is at ease. So things can gravitate towards you. The universe can bring you this stuff to help with healing, to help fill those voids. In your life, you become a whole different person. And one day you look in the mirror, you look in them eyes look like a totally different person. You got that light, you got that glow. But it's a process, y'all. I always stress that because I don't want to ever be naive to anything or think something is just so easy, like some superhero shit, because it ain't, man. There's this thing called life. but that's a process. Your will, you control a lot of your destiny. And you're doing things with balance like that, the universe, you get it the hell out your way, and it will work for you as it's supposed to. So I wanted to stress that about that. If you decide to, disengage from family, if you need to, that's very important. People stay around. It's important to understand what energy exchange is. If you bailing that brother out of the jail all the time because your mama hit you up sobbing, on your emotional strings, well, you're going into your pocket, and currency is energy, and you're using that financial currency, to help somebody that has done something wicked. Guess what? That's some karma that's going going to your credit that you want to deal with. That's not saying you're a wicked person. That's not saying that you're accomplice to the crime that you're helping your brother, escape from because you bailing them out. It's just the energy, man. It's energy flow. Energy is energy. Energy ain't judging nothing. It goes with the flow. All of a sudden, you got car problems for 6 months straight. All of a sudden, you might have had 20 G's in your account that you've been saving up for about 3 years, and you have one crisis after the other. Health problems, car issues. You know what I'm saying? You might have got account might have got hacked. Somebody stole so many thousands of dollars. That's the universe offsetting things. Anything that's energies that's off, it offset things, and it causes balance. That's all that is. It's not judging you. It's saying, hey, this ain't gonna work. Boom. And a lot of times, your intuition and just common sense not to do that. Or you fussing back with that sister that's coming at you like a banshee every day. You know what I'm saying? It's an energy exchange. But when you silence, you withdraw and use discernment, and you don't participate in the activity, yeah, you might get the cussing that, or you might get the voicemail, hey, you ain't shit, blah, 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 blah. But in time, when you're doing it, you're developing the strength. You're disengaging from all that because you weren't meant to come to that family and contribute to the chaos whatsoever. I want to touch on one more thing. A lot of times when black sheets come to the families to help bring healing to those generational curses, that child, before he or she is born, that mother struggles in labor a lot of times. Now, I'm curious about, the people who watch this. If ask your mom. Some of you probably already know. She probably already told you if she had troubles in labor with you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times that soul, even though they might have chosen to help out that bloodline, once, they do that cosmic dive, deep dive, and to go into the physical world, to that plane, the energy is so dense, they feel the energy of that wickedness as they go on, to that mother, for that pregnancy, what I'm saying, phase. They start having withdrawals. It's like, oh shit, but I ain't got myself too. I don't know about this. And they try to withdraw back, but they can't. The mother feels this. Sound crazy, right? She feels this because it's like her life is getting sucked. The source is getting sucked away. No, that source is coming to her. That's bringing so much life to her. It's trying to withdraw. That's what that is. I don't want to have nothing to do with that. So she's going through all that pain. That's crazy. A lot of times, your black sheeps, they're born with a veil over their face. The veil is simply just that extra, kind of meat or whatever when you're giving birth or whatever. And that veil is protection a lot of times. That child has a lot of gifts. You're protected, in the unseen realms, unseen worlds. And that's one thing I want to touch on real quick. It's your protection. Do not worry about your protection, y'all. If you're a black sheep in that family, no matter all the psychological bullshit you've been through or whatever bullshit you've been through, if you're watching this video and you're still here, it's because you've been protected. That is a universal law for you to be protected because your soul is so important to make the impact it's supposed to make. You are protected. There's nothing those spirits can do about it. Now, a lot of times when, those black sheets are born, a lot of those monitoring spirits try to take them out and try to do it through the family members. It could be something simple as, man, I was told when I was 6 months old, man, my brother, you know what I'm saying, he threw me down the flight of stairs. Like, damn, for real? Word? Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? How you survive that 6 months? I don't know. Now, you might have like a little handicap from that. You might have broke a foot or some shit, but you survived. You know what I'm saying? A sister might have tried to drown you because she was playing with you in the tub. You know what I'm saying? Or something might have happened, or uncle, whatever, purposely, gave you some liquor, whatever, put something in it, you know what I'm saying, to take you out, because Pop told him to. But you survived. You're heavily protected. And whatever they done to do that to you, that's karma they have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, man, that's my little tidbit on everything, man, about this. I might do a part 3. It depends. I might go back and check out the video, and any points that I didn't put in there that I would like to put in there, I might add into another video. But I wanted to share that with you all. That's mainly my perspective, my opinions about anything, and I'm not trying to convince anybody on anything. Take what resonates and go on about your business with it. You know what I'm saying? But real talk, real quick, I wanna get personal with y'all, man. Do what makes you happy, all right? Whoever watching this video, it might be one person watching this video that need to hear this, that how important you are. Now, I'm not gonna say this no sob story. I'm not gonna put no music on here, you know what I'm saying, to dramatize it, you know what I'm saying, or exaggerate. This is just real talk. I'm speaking to your soul. I'm looking at your soul, all right? You are here to do things beyond the common stuff. You are here to make an impact, even if it's just that one person that makes an impact on billions of people. You're doing your part, all right? I know you are. I believe in you. I see you. I promise you I do. Keep that shit rolling, because it's going to open up an abundance for you in time. Might be short-term or long-term, whenever that season it will be here. It's going to open up an abundance for you in your life in ways you can never imagine, because that's your eternal reward. All right? Look at myself. I'm not some YouTube influencer. I'm not here trying to be a YouTube influencer. I'm not trying to get, I'm not here rushing to get millions of views. You look at my subscription right now, my number's probably at the moment right now below 10 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come in here planning on doing more than one video. You go back to my first video, bit by bit. I'm like, yeah, I'm here because I just want to do this, and I've been talking about this with friends and family for years, and some of them kind of, encourage me to do. That's just me. I know these messages are different. They come from a different place. And I know my videos are going to be suppressed and oppressed a lot of times. I have been suppressed and oppressed. I ain't worried about that shit. It's about reaching that one person. It's the value of quality over quantity for me. It's that one person that's going to make an impact for generations. That's how we roll. That's how I roll. All right? Anyway, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Keep the light bright. Be stress-free. Go back and rewatch this video as many times as you want to. All right? Feel free to use parts of it. Whatever you need to use for it's cool with me. As long as you get that message out there. As long as it's resonating with somebody. All right? Y'all be easy. Y'all be cool. Y'all stay safe. Until next time. Shaya.